Hey everyone, welcome to this chapter of Dungeons and Dragons Through the Ages, Part 5, The Thief. We're getting into the red box set. I'm Jester Borris, and with me,
I'm Troy, the Planescape guy.
I'm Gwydion the Long-Winded.
always. So, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you're watching us live today, be sure to ask us any questions that you've got. We can pull any of the books off the shelf and dive into any of the subjects that you're interested in. Today we are talking about the thief, and Troy, we are in the red box.
In the red box, also known as the basic rules. This red box came out, what was it, 78?
Somewhere around
80?
there, 77, 78.
Yeah, it came out right
1977.
right on the tail end of the white box.
Mm-hmm.
White box came out, and they started putting out stuff, and I think they said, you know what, we're onto something here. We need to make it better. So we made it more better, and started coming out with some of these things. And the books start to be a little more familiar in structure, what we see today.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the player's book. There's another red book. It's for the Dungeon Master. So
Yeah.
everything in the player's book deals with your characters and your spells and how you develop over the years as a character.
What was nice is we didn't have to jump books anymore. We had
Right.
the thief,
Player book
we had,
and
yeah.
The,
You got a couple pages here that shows everything about
that
your
was nice.
your thief.
Now, Gwydion, we expect to see some progression in hit points, but we didn't really this time, did we?
No, they followed the original book, and let me say this too, on the way that we're presenting here, in 1977, there was a split in D&D, and they went this way with the basic original set because it had a lot of imagination, a lot of us just loved it, and it continued for 20 years. On this side was Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. AD&D started in 77 as well, went this way, and it was a little more railroaded as far as the way that they set it up, the characters, but it gave a lot more information.
I love that train. Don't you badmouth it.
So anyway, for 20 years, that happened until 3 came out and TSR was bought by Wizards of the Coast. Then it came together and it was 3rd edition, not advanced, just 3rd edition. So the way we're representing or the way we're presenting it here is the basic system and the basic all the way through the boxes. Then we're going to get into AD&D. We're not doing it by time slot.
Yeah, there's a lot of concurrent printing, and some things overlapped and went back and forth.
Yeah. So this is easier for us, or just me because I'm old. If you haven't heard that yet.
It's okay.
Okay, their prime rec was hit with dexterity, something I don't have anymore. Their experience points and other calculations as per introduction. They had a D4 plus Constitution bonus for hit points. Now, this is where Constitution made a difference in their hit points.
As opposed to the single one hit point
Just-
per level.
Yeah. The basic box set gave information to level 3. So you could go to level 3 with the basic box set when it first came out. They gave you calculations for beyond that, but they didn't flesh it out. The Thief and the Magic User were exactly the same on the saving throw matrix, which to me was just lazy writing. All thieves belong to an organization. They learned their arts from a teacher within this organization. So this is setting up a precedence and a hierarchy in the game on how you, the Dungeon Master, should run a thief.
Let's go back real quick
Yes.
to the saving throw. A lot of our viewers that just play 5th edition aren't going to know what that even means. So the saving throw, if somebody throws a spell at you, you got to roll a die 20, and if your saving throw for death magic, wands, paralyzation, dragon's breath, rods and staves.
Saves wands, yeah.
So depending on your class and level, you had a number on a die 20 that you had to beat, and it had either half or no effect on you. So now they do that with the DC.
Well, so
They have different checks.
For area of effect, you'll make a dex save to avoid like fireball or something
Right.
of that
For
nature.
fear, it's Constitution.
So it's the same kind of
So-
thing. They just call it something different, and the mechanics work slightly different.
Yeah,
Right,
we
so
had
rather
different
than have
levels and different areas that we had to check.
So in
on the
these
chart.
earlier editions, you'll hear us call it saving throw. That's what it's talking about.
Yeah, and
I'm
so-
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad.
Well, it's the same idea, but we had this was a separate number you had to track versus
Yes.
something that was already taken care of in the math. So
More calculations.
yeah, well, the
Yeah,
pins in my pocket are protected. That's all.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
say.
That's right.
That code rules.
A note here on leveling in general. Nowadays, people just level up as they adventure. Originally, it was expected that they had to be trained in new techniques first, then sit out to apply their trade, whatever that class that might be, learning how to master the new skills until they were ready to learn more. That's what experience points were all about. If they had earned enough experience points to raise more than one level, the extra points were just lost. Only one level could be attained at a time per training session. So they had to actually go back to where someone could train them. I don't know if you remember playing Might and Magic millions of years ago on the computer, but you had to go to a training facility, and some training facilities could only take you up to 7, others could take you up to 10 or 12, others, and so on.
So when you became 8th or 9th level in the original box set, you were expected to make a stronghold of some kind, a keep or a church or whatever. So now these low-level thugs come up to you and say, hey, man, you teach me some tricks so I can make level. I got the experience points. So basically, you charge them some gold, take them in the back room, train them up, kick them out.
For a thief, it was called a hideout.
Yeah, hideout.
And where others were doing strongholds, and they would do a cave, they would take an abandoned mine, or a building in town, which was one of their favorites.
Mickey runs the docks.
Yeah.
So bringing that role-playing aspect, even today, if your 5th edition characters are going to make a level, have it so that they have to seek out somebody that's better than them, a higher level, to teach them how to swing the sword better, how to steal something better.
Yeah, the knowledge and new techniques didn't just come to them, although some things did, which is why their experience points were increasing, like the use of a frying pan in Tangled. Who knew? Who knew? But not entire levels worth of understanding. I mean, you can imagine someone that thinks that they've seen enough kung fu movies and practiced enough that they've earned a black belt till they get in the dojo and actually on the mat. There's things you've got to learn from someone that's better than you. So it's important to get your guild, monastery, or training hall when you had enough experience points to level up and not waste all those experience points on continuing to adventure. Now, if you're not practicing this in your campaigns, I really recommend you start. It introduces guilds in an immersive way, giving you, the GM, a lot of options for handling situations, information dumps, items for sale, repairs on items, along with the means to introduce new players to each other and handle quests.
It can also fill out your downtime. So when you're not out in the wilderness fighting the zombies or chasing the necromancer, but you're back in town, it's less of a, okay, give me your list, we'll see what you buy. Now you can go to the Wizards Guild, you can go to the Thieves Guild.
With a reason to go there. It pulls in the aspect that I call character progression.
Yeah. So
So you go out, you experience things, and you got some gold. Now you're going to go train up and make a level. And now your character's goals, that 19-page backstory you had everybody write at first level. So you bring in some of those aspects in their training, and instead of just going to town, like Borris was saying, and I'm gonna go buy some more of this. I'm gonna go hit the tavern and drink my fill. It gives you a reason when you get to town of, hey, I got to go check in the guild. I got to go here and do this.
I got to go pay my dues.
I got to pay your dues.
If you're with the Thieves Guild, you got to go in and pay your dues.
Or they'll come collect.
Yes, they will.
Well, and then all of this is to say that it was written thematically into the class descriptions, because this, you don't just learn skills; they have to come from somewhere.
Right.
And so these help.
They think this is water.
Anyway, so having that written as part of the class helps make your character a part of the world setting.
Yes.
As where do these skills come from? How did I develop as a character?
Because your second level thief character can't go on YouTube and learn how to pick a lock. Somebody else has to teach you.
That's right. Somebody's got to teach you. So for the most part, in the red box, the thief and assassin were just like the original D&D, or ODD, as it's put, Greyhawk and Blackmore versions, with the exception of languages. We now had 20 to choose from, and some of them were monster languages.
Yeah.
So, we could actually listen and understand, okay, that's a this.
Yeah.
If you understood the language and tell everybody like that, and we're like, no, okay, you want to go the other way? You want to bust through?
It's just a kobold.
Yeah, being worked over by a couple of bugbears.
I'm out. So that takes us to the expert box.
So,
Well,
yeah,
that's the
that-
good one.
well, which is fine though. So,
Yeah.
one of the things that was interesting here is that original white box D&D used a lot of D6 for its checks,
Yes.
but here we're starting to see percentage-based checks, and the thief skills are as follows: open locks, find traps, remove traps, pick pockets, move silently, climb sheer surfaces, hide in shadows, which is different. You'll hear from move silently, so moving silently to the corner and then effectively hiding in the darkness. And now hear noise. So this is a base table, and there are racial adjustments too. So elves had bonuses for secret and concealed doors, moving silently, but dwarves and hobbits had other bonuses.
Yeah,
in certain
halflings could
categories.
hide in the shadows. They're small and something like that.
Yeah, so
There isn't a dwarf alive that could move silently.
I think they
Never
all
had.
walk just like with
Yeah.
rocks in their boots.
Yeah.
So,
Light,
that was one of the
light,
things, and you'll see here, like a first level, you might have a 15% chance to open locks.
Mm-hmm.
But as you go higher, now I'm at a 72% chance at 14th level.
Okay, so my dwarf fighter thief.
Yeah.
Boot to the door, open every time.
He took the barbarian method. He learned from Krug.
And I learned from that a long time ago, and don't let it out, but in a campaign coming up, and I hope he's not watching this, when they try to kick a door in, it's got heavy steel jams because it opens in, or it opens out, not in. So when he kicks it, his foot's going to go through it, and he's going to be standing there, foot through the door. So, you know, there's ways around the barbarian.
When the door jam was built better than the door after 100 years.
Yeah. That's kind of the way this place is.
But-
So you're talking about the expert set, the blue box.
Yeah,
Blue
sorry,
box.
Expert
Going
Wolfman
there.
brought this table
Yeah,
to us.
Because
Yeah.
when you said 14, they fleshed out the thief to the 14th level here.
Right.
Yeah.
So the red box went up first, second, and third level.
Yep.
Blue box takes you up to 14. Yeah.
And that's where at 9th
Rock on.
level, you're expected to build a hideout
Right, and we
and
hit
start your
a
own
lot of
little
those
group.
titles were still a big deal. We didn't touch on it a whole
Oh,
lot
yeah.
in the white box set, but that's where they came from. So here we're starting with
Lay it on me.
apprentice,
Okay.
footpad, robber, burglar,
Go burgle something.
cut purse,
Okay.
That's a trade.
Yeah.
a sharper, a pilferer. Finally, at level 8, can you call yourself a thief?
Oh. Just flat out call him a thief.
And then 9, master thief, and then you get into just, grandmaster thief of thiefness, McThiefman.
Yeah, whatever it
You
does.
gotta just start to
It
repeat
means
yeah.
you got to start your own guild and start collecting money. At
Thief
9th
McThief
level,
is-
your hideout would attract 2 to 12 first level first level thieves. So now you had to plan to build a thieves guild, or you had to join
Yep.
to reach mastery and then be associated with them. And there was all sorts of things that allowed the game to progress. So there was a lot more to the game than just dungeon delving, which is the way it originally started.
Right.
But the game was becoming more and more, and they were trying to find new ways to do it. Level progression beyond 14 was given as 120,000 experience points required, per level above. And you were given 2 hit points per level added to their total with no constitution bonus.
Well, it's better than the
Whoa.
one we used to
Yeah.
get, but
Yeah, I know.
don't have an 18 con as a thief. It's not going to do you what you need.
In this edition, it recommends that you wait until the companion supplement was released, where it was better fleshed out to level 36 for all characters.
Hey guys, we're going to leave some new books, so don't bother playing until we do that later.
Oh, look, an advertisement. So,
In the character description, drink more Ovaltine.
yeah. Nice one. So, here's another chuckle. Wolf's Bane was introduced and was designed to be used as a weapon against lycanthropes. A weapon. Okay?
You mean like
you would actually attempt to hit the lycanthrope in hand-to-hand combat with the Wolf's Bane stick in your hand.
before he eats your face off, right?
It's supposed to be.
Well, my
I mean-
D4 hit points say no.
My D4 hit points say that I'm running as fast as I can.
Now, it
Where's
was.
that dwarf and plate mail? We need
Here, grab this and go hit that
That's
thing.
why he has plate mail. They can't run. So when a werewolf starts chewing on him, he can probably take a
That's
bite
right.
of you.
I don't feel so good. You know,
Right.
with his arm chewed off. The it was later changed to, I don't like your character. He grows back to Wolfsbane and was used in saving throws against the disease or to stave off the change for just one night.
Mm-hmm.
It would just stave it off for one night if you were afflicted. Personally, I found a flask of oil and a torch did the job because I didn't need the Wolfsbane.
Yeah.
So they introduced the NPC spy, a thief who is either someone outside the group that infiltrates or a party member that's been bribed into becoming such.
Still
yeah.
part of the thief. We haven't touched on
Still
assassin
part of
yet.
it. No,
Yeah.
no. The thief tables were great for use with bad guys like the brigands, bandits, and the like. Many
name
magic
calling.
items. Select miscellaneous magic, rings, rods, some weaponry, certain armors, and scrolls for the thief or assassin were now more abundant. So they didn't do a lot of talking about assassins. There is some
Yeah, I was
Stuff.
gonna double check weapons here. So they go straight from, because again, there are classes, and then certain classes are actually your race: elves, halfling, and
Yeah.
dwarf. And so I was trying to see if in this edition, if thieves were yet allowed to operate more than a crossbow. Because they were fairly limited. They had to have leather armor, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Daggers and short swords was about all they were listed as being able to access and train with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to double check that here, but it went right
I-
at halfling. And
Yeah, I believe it was still following the basic and the red box rules here in the expert set. And then it went into the companion set. So it was actually a very short aspect. And it's like, let's go ahead and flesh this out to 14 for everybody because they're playing the thief, but let's remind them that we got something else coming out that's going to take them to level 36.
Yeah.
So instead of using the rules of 14th level and the expansion there, slow your campaign down, start another one, wait until the companion set sets out, and then buy it. So
We get it. It's right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
you want to get that?
you want me to grab that off the...
No, we don't have to.
Oh, well, it's already moving. Moving. All right.
Oh,
so,
is that your new black box
This is my new black box.
that you got?
It's the box. This is the Masters, and that's not the one you're talking about.
We're not there yet.
No, you're talking about this green one.
oh, I'm sorry.
Some
Teal.
I got it's behind my head.
But you're double jointed. So
Behind my neck.
You want to be?
Here, turn it. So the
There we go.
companion box,
Let me grab that. Oh,
the companion set was actually a couple of books that you went through. Here we see experience and ability levels to 25, saving throws fleshed out to 36. Some skills now took victim levels into consideration versus just the activity. For example, they would have to subtract 5% for every level of experience of their victim. And they give the example. A 30th level thief attempting to pick a 30th level fighter's pocket.
Oh.
Kind of sounds like they're setting rules for not doing this to your party members. The chance
Well, that's
that,
no fun.
the chance is 165% of normal minus 150% for the victim level adjustment. So there's only a 15% chance that
well, is
you'll
this
be a
gonna on the
success.
test? Because I haven't studied that math.
That's a-
Yeah, we
yet.
have to stay there.
You were getting a calculator.
Uh,
Honestly, the bottom line is don't do it, dude. So, you know,
but it
The
did also
The
account
thief
for.
to 36th level.
that's
there it
right.
is. So, but if you were more powerful or more practiced
Yeah.
in your arts, you definitely have an advantage over the lower level.
30th level against
yeah.
a 15th or 10th or something like that, you had a great advantage. This is also where the rogue is introduced. So this is the first time rogue is there. They're categorized as a wandering thief.
Somebody who's not necessarily associated with the guild.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They must remain a member of the Thieves Guild, can never become a guild master of an established branch of the guild, but can start a new branch on their own. But they'll be paying dues. Has a chance, determined by the DM, of finding a treasure map or hearing of a great treasure rumor that they can visit. They learn from and hire from any branch of the Thieves Guild anywhere. The rogue themselves will gain a reputation, good or bad.
Right.
So that's where the rogue came into play, was if you were like, look, I want to hear these rumors. I don't just want to go on an adventure and find stuff. I want to be the person that hears the rumors, finds the stuff, and can go after certain things.
Sure. So the wandering
Or be
part
hired
is
for it.
more the out of town, the on the road,
Mm-hmm.
versus the thief, where the archetype was meant to be, very very much within society.
Yeah. Book 2 of the set hinted that the thief, rogue, assassin could now be a major part of the campaign's creation or cause.
Mm-hmm.
So again, they're implementing this particular class into the campaign structure and encouraging you to do home brews from them.
Yeah.
Book 2 on page 10 shows unnatural events such as assassinations, a spy ring, or a traitor. Could be a Dominion event that sparked an adventure, and that's book 2, page 10. So again, they're giving you hints. They're giving you aspects that you can take and build your own home brews. It did in this set express that poisons are evil.
Well, the use of poisons.
The use of poisons is evil and may cause alignment problems. Page 22 gives the recommendations for use, monster use. We have it, so they get it.
Mm-hmm.
Limiting its effectiveness and power, becoming useless after so many rounds or when exposed to the air. They suggest accidental poisonings to the creator to make sure they don't make too much of a bad thing and have it become rampant.
You're
Certainly,
useless after too many rounds.
I don't want to talk about that. But
What do you got on the master?
Just take it.
Ah!
So
well, it's that premeditation, that forethought. A weapon can be for defense, but when you poison it, it's got pretty much one purpose.
Assassination.
That's where you can run into some alignment issues.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm glad they cautioned
leveling the
that.
playing field.
Yeah, they cautioned that because in later editions, even in 5e, it's like poison. Save versus poison.
Yes.
Save versus and it's just a natural aspect. And it's like there's a deeper connotation to the poisons that are being used. It's not, you're not going up against a giant scorpion that has it as a natural ability. You're going against somebody that has done this to a weapon or an item for a specific purpose, and that's to off you.
Now, we were dealing with some of our higher level campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our rogues did end up using poisons that were specific to the demons and things that we were running across all the time. In it was helpful to have those specific, just if you had cold forged iron, there's other weapon types that are particular to your foe. But the poison was still a bad news thing. Abyssal spider venom is what he liked to use.
Yipe.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Which, well, we had to go fight abyssal spiders to get it, and that was a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's another video. Book 2 also introduced selling items. Now, we were doing this already because in the original D&D, we'd kill stuff and throw it in there, and it's got a price, and we'd give a quarter of the price if it was in decent shape, an eighth or a tenth if it still had the orc smell in it, and so on. So we, but they introduced selling items, so now a skilled thief can make money in the open market. Or they could be hired to go after certain things, monster pelts.
Yeah. Appraisal was added in the first edition of Arcana. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we got that in the next edition when they did proficiencies, not in weapons.
Yes, not weapon proficiencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also expressed to be careful not to swindle, or sell damaged goods, because they had damaged gems and jewelry in there. Page 48, damaged gems and jewelry.
Damaged? It's pristine.
It's
There's
actually
something wrong with your eyes.
That's right. It said in there basically the information will travel fast and ruin your chances for anything other than black market dealings. Page 26 touched on that. For all adventurers, the value of special treasures, Dragon's Tooth, or whatever else you pulled out, would create a boon to us all in new ways to get the funds that we needed just to repair stuff or buy the next items or get some more healing potions, because we used them against the spiders. And so pelt moth skins, ivory trinkets, even statuettes and things.
And you'll find expansions on that too, depending on your world setting or particular module that you're running as well. So there's a lot here in these rules that can help you when you've got a thief or a party that's trying to sell those goods. But be sure to check your world setting as when you're in. What the heck was it? So I forget all the names of the cities in Faerun because I played Greyhawk all the time. But yeah.
Well, you got Forgotten Realms. You've got that box system. You've got the
right, but
Greyhawk system that came about. Plus,
so Neverwinter is going to have different needs as opposed to its neighboring city.
And Empire of the Petal Throne. If you haven't played it, look it up.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we borrowed from that one too. And that takes us to the master set, the black box.
All right, let me get that up there. So
you're on. No.
The master rule set, we see further expansion.
Caramel.
Well, we've already gotten companions took us to 36. What do we see in the master rule set when it came to thieves?
Actually, they went further to the 36, and they took everything that thief leveling entailed and took it to level 36, including their special abilities.
Oh, here we go. So let me see if I can get that in front of the camera. This chart.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I kill you.
Silence.
All right, hopefully this will be visible.
Up,
Pull it back. A little
up, pull back a little bit. Up.
There you go.
Over the whole thing.
There you are.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's pretty
something
close.
like that.
This is an idea. So as we're going across left to right, open locks, find traps, remove trap, climb walls, move silently, hide in shadows, pick pockets, and hear noise. A little bit different than the chart we had before. They've made some adjustments, but you'll see potentially down here at level 36, 120%, 110%, 130%.
Yeah.
Now, lock difficulties could make adjustments to that. Magical locks,
As well as your
Master
race.
right, and so
Some people minus 15% for this, minus 20% for that. So
Oh my god.
it allowed for that.
I got to show this off. This
Okay.
off. Go do that with this here.
it's not even a character sheet.
So, some of you have seen some of our other videos. Remember Gwydion talking about, back in my day, you didn't get a full sheet of paper to put your character on. You had to use a 3x5 card, not because we was poor, but because the life expectancy of that character didn't warrant writing more than 2 things about him.
That's right.
So in this book here, there's actually a suggested layout. Tilt it down some. A little more. Perfect. Here's a suggested layout on a 3x5 card for your character information.
Yeah.
With special abilities here and notes on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. See, we were technologically poor back in those days of stone knives and bear skins. And page 19 suggests how to keep PC data. Now, those 2 words alone have a different connotation today than they did back then. So, they said each player should fill out a 3x5 card for the PC they run. If a PC had many a magic item, they should probably fill out a 4x6 card and give it to the DM.
Inch.
Yeah, look at that. Different colored cards should be used to indicate race and even class.
Okay, so they started the game in 1974. And 74, so almost 10 years later, somebody figured out, hey, how do we keep track of our stuff on our character? 10 years?
Yeah. Okay, we might have been doing it before that, but yeah, when we'd write up characters, it was always a stack of characters because you were gonna die, and as a thief with a D4 or a magic user with a D4,
Oh yeah.
you were gonna die.
Considering all weapons did a die 6 in damage
Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
modifiers.
And monsters, they could do a die 6 with each paw.
If
You get claw, bite. Well, that's 3
Yeah.
attacks. That's
Yeah,
3d6 versus 1d4.
Yeah. Now,
Random.
when you were talking about the multi-class, the elf multi-class, they would roll a D10 for fighter, D6 for thief, and a D4 for magic user, and I might be in AD&D at this point, but they would take all of those, they would roll them, add them together,
And
and,
then average
divide
them.
by 3,
An average.
Yeah,
of-
and
think
that was
that's an ADD.
your roll. Might
That's
be,
it.
Yeah.
but I was like, yuck.
And you
Yeah.
still got a 2.
Yeah, you still wound up with a 2 to a 4.
By 3 and get a 2.
I know, you're rounded down. It's like we can't even round up,
No,
you know. So
we-
I'm just glad that paraphrasing where Gygax actually wrote and said, "Heaven forbid they ever figure out you don't need the rules to play." So and that is paraphrasing. Backstab was still double damage. Setting traps was introduced as an artifact power. An artifact power. It wasn't even something that the thief could take on. This was an artifact power. They had all these artifacts and all these things that they could do. Now something new for us to go after. But it was an artifact power. Many of us used it as a way to have our thief set traps. So we would use the rule. It didn't come up that often. And generally we just make up rules as we go along for time, complexity, materials, as the situation demanded. In our group, we used remove traps, special ability table,
Yeah.
to show the success possibility of setting a trap, which was up to 99%. If it was unsuccessful, we merely had the thief take full damage. It got funny.
Oh, yes.
Immortals were introduced
Woohoo!
in the black set.
What level are they, Papa?
Level 1.
Level 1.
A level
Immortal.
1 immortal. If you make the transition from a kick-ass fighter thief or whoever, you're 36, 40, 50 level, and your patron says, "Yeah, I'll take you on, young lad. Come work for me." Poof! You're now
Level 1.
a level 1 immortal.
That's right.
So, but yeah, late in the master, we start to get to where we're dealing with high level stuff. So, plane travel, the multiverse, deities are more thematic, and then we get into immortals. So, tell us a little bit about that.
There was different spheres that you would go after, and for a thief, the sphere of thought was the favored class. So it was something to aim for. The epic hero path route of the sphere of thought was considered perfect for the thief. You had a quest for a major artifact. That was one of the requirements. You had a trial of tracking down and bringing about the defeat. I love how that's worded.
Yeah, that's a little.
Bringing about the defeat. So many times we charge our PCs with being the hammer to the nail, while just being the architect can be as effective or more effective.
Well,
And-
and that allows for social RP,
Mm-hmm.
and particularly at high levels where you're now you probably have kingdoms involved for this world-ending threat.
Yeah.
And so, if Saruman is bringing up the Urukai, and you've been able to rally the defense, that's a huge piece of being able to defeat that threat.
Instead of you just trying to go against Saruman.
Right.
Not a good idea.
I could take
But
Backstab.
again, a trial of tracking down and bringing about the defeat of a major artifact of the sphere of entropy. So what this hinted to that people didn't pick up until it was a little late is all the spheres were fighting each other
Right. Everyone's
all
vying
the
for-
time.
Mhm.
A testimony by which the PC finds a successor and creates a new legendary weapon. So when you become an immortal, well, you got to find somebody that you can bring up that's going to take your place, and where you can be the high guy that looks at him and goes, "Hi, now you're first level again."
it.
So,
You must be worthy.
It rolls downhill is what we're trying to say. And finally, a task where they must live up to the heroic ideals of courage, steadfastness, and dedication. They must complete an epic quest to perform a nearly impossible task, such as driving all the dragons from land or building a castle in the sky. So that's where those things came from. I always wondered that.
And they went into the Shadowfell. And that was a whole other thing.
Yeah, it says it should take about 5 years for your character to complete this. So, you know, IRL
They
or
want it to
in the
be-
game, yeah, they
Right.
want you to run some campaigns, and they came out with a lot of immortal campaigns.
And what they're
which was
what they're
great.
really hinting at there is its scale should be to that task, right?
Yes.
If you're going to make the ascendancy potential, you have to have a task of that scale.
So once they hinted at that, everybody was like, "Well, I want to be an immortal. Where's all this other information?" Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
What?
Wood. Wood. Immortal set.
Immortal set.
Hey, what's interesting though is by the time you get there, we actually have a real character sheet. Let me see.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
There's so many boxes.
Each of these boxes. We got a
Fill
DM,
all those out.
a DM and a player's guide again.
Mm-hmm.
That talk about all the things, and getting a celestial being or a deity to back to the thief. Staying on task. How does that happen? So
Hardly
the
ever
thieves,
does.
this is a good line though. For an immortal, the thief's abilities were considered useless, but they were frequently used by followers or other allies. So I'm not going to do it because I don't think a trap can hurt me. I can move silently. I can hide in shadows. I can turn myself gaseous form or invisible. Plane walk, plane shift. you know,
Astrally project.
Astrally
Yeah.
project. So I can do whatever. So yeah, your thieves' abilities. You're not going to pick my pocket, buddy. Let me tell you. One, I don't have any pockets. So
Yeah.
because I just used Dimension Door, and there it is.
Yeah. So it was basically in the immortal set. There was nothing to add for the thief, with the exception of we used them.
Yeah,
So,
we use them to accomplish the ends to the means.
Yeah.
So the Immortals have a lot of they have fighting abilities, spellcasting abilities, psionics, clerical abilities, things like that.
and multiverse stuff,
A lot of multiverse stuff.
which is Planescape guys.
Landscape guy. More boxes over there.
Yeah, lots more.
So
That's it.
Anything about a thief that was much different here? It doesn't sound like we ended up still. Thief Illusionist or the Fighter Thief are great combos for the Thief class. And then if you want to be like Troy, you can be a Dwarf Fighter Thief and Heavy Plate.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And they were now able to play a rogue or a wandering thief. That was
Right.
the
a
first.
little bit of expansion
yeah.
beyond the cities and into the dungeons.
Yeah.
So,
I would add, when you're making an NPC as a bad guy and as a thief, don't forget to build a guild, and he's going to have followers, and he's going to have a lot of followers depending on his location. And there may even be followers in the Thieves Guild that are different races. You could have half orc, you can have full orc, you have goblins. Those are great sources of information and skullduggery. I don't want to involve my humans in the Thieves Guild,
Yeah.
so I'm going to hire it out to some hobgoblins to go do this thing, and the hobgoblins get blamed, but not my crew.
Thieves are great in that early bad guy, that early setup, because they can be connected to every other part of your world setting.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you start
And are.
here, and you're dealing with this
Yes,
nonsense,
they are.
and it brings you out
Yeah.
and back around, and you finally defeat him, only to find out that he was just a node in the web that covers the rest of the campaign.
Typically, those Thieves Guilds are the ones that do all of the bad stuff, because they'll be hired by whoever to go out and do this thing.
Steal a thing, fence
Steal
a
a
thing,
thing,
get
fence
the
a-
info, move
kill
the info,
somebody.
Yeah.
And so you're going after me. The Thieves Guild. Why did they do this? We got to go get them. And when you get there, you're surrounded. They strip you naked, to tie you up, throw you in a cage, and sell you to slavers.
See, you're going to find out that the way original D&D set up thieves is a lot different than the way AD&D sets up thieves,
Oh, yeah.
and that's coming up next.
Yes.
So we're going to take a short break and break out those books for first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the first printing where we get hardback books. In the meantime, like, comment, share, and subscribe wherever you happen to find this video. You can also find us where at, Troy?
We're on Discord, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Facebook, I want to be a GM. Why I want to be a GM. We're all over the place. Can't miss us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just do a search and you'll find where we're at. You can come hang out and participate. And in the meantime, I'm Jester Borris.
I'm Troy, the Planescape guy.
I'm Gwydion the Long Wind.
And this
Still.
this is I Want to Be a GM's D&D Through the Ages Part 5, The Thief. And we'll be right back with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons.
Again, thanks for being here.